A few weeks ago, the University of South Carolina had a historic win by the women's basketball team. Winning the championship game against Mississippi State has never been done before. It was a victory that should never be forgotten.
A few weeks ago, the University of South Carolina men's basketball team was also in the Final Four and had a devastating loss against Gonzaga.
However, when you compare the two teams, even though the women won the title of champions, the men still received more attention from not only the students of USC, but from all basketball fans across the country.
This is where the problem comes in. Here we see how in today's society, men's athletics is more focused on than women's athletics.
After searching the word Gamecocks on Google, we were interested to see what the first search result to come up would be. Without surprise, videos and stats for USC's men's basketball game against the Gonzaga Bulldogs was the first thing to appear. Despite the historical win from the women's team, this shows that more people have been curious about the men's loss rather than the women's win.
USC's men's basketball team flooded social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The men's basketball team was advertised through articles and photos shared on social media. In general, information about the men's team was easily accessible, whereas if you wanted to find news about the women's team, you had to conduct more in-depth searches to find out statistics and other news.
When asking students around campus which team, men or women's, they kept up with throughout the tournament, here are some replies.
Which University of South Carolina basketball team did you keep up more with this year, men's or women's?
Men's basketball.
Men's.
Men's.
Yeah.
Men's.
Women's.
Men's.
Men's.
Men's basketball.
Men's.
Men's.
Clearly, the men's basketball games were favored among students rather than the women's games. When walking into the bookstores around campus, the stores are flooded with men's basketball apparel, but the apparel for the women's basketball team is much more limited.
We conducted an interview with one of the salespeople at the South Carolina bookstore and asked them a couple of questions about what March Madness looked like for the sales of merchandise.
How much merchandise did y'all get for the women's national championship, and how much would y'all have gotten if the men had won?
Well, I'd say it's basically a 3-to-1 ratio. If the men would have won, we would have gotten 3 times of the women's stuff that we got. So that's kind of uncomfortable to say, but it goes to show you just how in society, like, men still are basically dominant as far as people's mindset, I guess. Because, with us getting, this much women's stuff, to think that, on order we had over 3 times this for the men's championship. Had they won, it just kind of goes to show you where the gender roles still play even today.
Throughout these examples, we see that the media is the main reason that men's athletics are more focused on than women's. This is because the media advertises and projects men's athletics more frequently, causing these games to be more accessible than the women's games.
It is a well-known stereotype that athletics are more focused on for men, whether that be in college athletics or professional athletics.
Unfortunately, this impacts our lives because our school and most sports fans fit into this stereotype. As proven by this video, we have seen countless examples of how students and other viewers have chosen to focus more on the men's loss than women's national championship.
It is time to relook at how our society and media forums look at women's sports teams and how they are perceived as less important than men's. Now is the time to look at them as equals.